Many people on YouTube made videos about importing retro game consoles from Japan and how many good deals you can find there. So back in January, yes, January, I know that's 7 months ago, I decided to try this out for myself. I searched far and wide for the cheapest proxy service and eventually found from Japan. I bought a lot of stuff and pressed order. And then I waited and waited and waited. Now you know why I haven't uploaded a video since December. Until I finally got something in the mail. You should take it slow. The GameCube was released in the fall of 2001, 2 years after the release of the PlayStation 2 and a month before the Xbox. This head start of the PS2 and the lack of third-party support on the GameCube meant that the console didn't sell very well at launch, even though it was $100 cheaper than the competition. The reviews were mixed, probably because of the lack of games. The GameCube launched with only 3 games in Japan. As with performance, the console was vastly outmatched by the competition. But the games that did release still looked pretty good. If you don't look at the competition, the GameCube tried and failed to appeal to the hardcore gamer, and Nintendo published a lot of more mature games that would never be approved on the Nintendo 64, for example. But nothing the company did could save the Launchbox console. It was too little too late, and the GameCube sold only 22 million units in its 5-year lifespan. Meanwhile, the PS2 was thriving, selling 160 million units in 13 years. It was clear who won this generation. So, why did I get a GameCube? After seeing a couple of GameCube retrospectives and the games, I wanted to know how this underrated console actually felt. Also, I saw local pricing for GameCube hardware and games and figured that if I'm already buying all this stuff from Japan, why not get a GameCube as well? So I got this enormous package with all my orders, including the GameCube, 2 controllers, a memory card and some games. The console was in good shape and the controllers were okay, though the black one's joystick was a bit loose. The AV output was the same as the SNES and N64, so I could use those cables for my GameCube. But the power supply was entirely different, and the price of one was too high for me, so I needed to improvise a bit. The Nintendo Wii is basically a juiced up GameCube, which also means the power supply is extremely similar. And with the Wii being vastly more popular, clone power supplies are widespread. So I got one. The only significant difference between the 2 power supply versions is the connector, but since they are electrically identical, I would have a compatible power supply if only I could get a GameCube connector onto it. I could hack something up, but since I got a 3D printer, I wanted to do this properly. So I 3D modeled a part that could slot into a Wii PSU and have a GameCube compatible connector. From the outside, it looks like an original Wii PSU, if you don't look at the connector, of course. I published this part on GitHub and Thingiverse with all the previous versions and a wiki with instructions on how to set this up. I hope this helps you get a GameCube PSU without breaking the bank. After getting a power supply, the GameCube powered up. The controllers and memory card also worked. There was just one major issue. The games didn't read. I found an iFixit troubleshooting list that is linked in the description. I cleaned the lens, my discs, and even opened up the console and adjusted the potentiometer to increase the laser's power. But nothing worked. There was just one thing left on the list: recapping the disk drive PCB. With no other option left, I ordered some replacement Panasonic caps and attempted a recap. I was very stressed to do this because I had no prior experience with SMD capacitors. And it worked! Wave Race Blue Storm and Mario Kart Double Dash worked perfectly, and I played them for a bit to test the console. After that, I disassembled everything and cleaned it. I also fixed the stuck button to open the disk drive. And that's the repair done! Everything is working great, and I'll probably soft mod this and get a Game Boy player, but for now, I'm satisfied with this $20 GameCube after including the cost of replacement caps and shipping. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I didn't upload for a long time, but believe me guys, I have a lot more things to cover. See you next time!